Alex, and today we're talking about bananas. So in North Florida, bananas is certainly not our primary crop, but we can grow bananas in North Florida. And here's a classic example of bananas that we can grow in North Florida. I have grown this banana at this particular spot. This tree is about 3 years old, and this is the first batch of bananas I've gotten off this particular tree. It's the variety of banana called ice cream banana, and it is a mid-sized banana. And so I'm real eager to see what these taste like this year. We should have long enough season. It is late August, and so we have several months before we get our first frost, and that means these bananas are going to have enough days to get to maturity. Often what I've seen in the North Florida area is that just before your first frost or your first hard freeze, you would need to chop the banana off on the stalk and then hang it someplace like in your garage or your carport or your sunroom and let it finish ripening up. Now, bananas also can be used green, and I did that not too long ago on my summer vacation. We fried some green bananas that we had bought at the market, and they were very much like French fries. And just similar to the way you would do plantain, you can do green bananas the same way. And this is an overlooked part of the banana tree, and this is the flower of the banana. And in Asian markets, it's certainly not overlooked, but we as Americans have typically not used the flower of the banana, but it is used in desserts. It's used in several Thai dishes, and I'll cook up some of this a little bit later in the video, and we'll see how this goes too. Also, the banana leaf is a very useful thing. I use it a lot at Armstrong Farm for steaming fish, and you can use it for tamales. We have several different varieties of bananas that we grow here, and bananas are a very useful thing in the North Florida area. So it's mid-October, and these bananas are still green. I hear a lot of moaning about, oh, you know, I can grow bananas, but I can never get them ripe. You know what? That's not anything to moan about in my book, because bananas are such a good plant to utilize in a food forest or any kind of edible yard environment. Green, they are a great starch crop, and what we're going to do is we're going to make banana French fries out of these right here. But you could use them in soups as a starch. This bunch is actually ripe enough now that I could cut it and hang it in the garage like we talked about in the video earlier, and it would ripen on up. It's starting to get some tinges of yellow on it right now, but it's still green enough for me to use as a green banana starch crop. Similarly, you would do plantain, any way you do plantain. So now that we've grown our bananas, what do you do with the bananas, your bounty that you've grown? So the green bananas that we were just looking at on the tree, I would take those and fry them most often. Now you can use them any way you use a starch. So at this point, they're more like a plantain, so they are a starch. They can, when they're fried thinner, they can actually be very crispy. I like them with a little salt on it. Some people like them with a little sugar on it. So you can dip them in ketchup just like a French fry, and really don't taste like a banana at all at this point. Tastes like a starch. The flour that was on the banana, so what do we do with that? In Asian countries, it's a very popular dish. I had a Cambodian neighbor that always begged me for the flowers off my banana trees when I lived in the Murray Hill area of Jacksonville. I've only cooked them a few times. I am going to try to use this one in a Thai salad that I found on Google, and it uses limes and fish sauce, and sounds like a very interesting recipe. And so we're going to soak this in some salty water, and this is going to be a little Thai salad. You also can scoop it out and use the inside, chop that inside up, and use the little shell as a boat. And so that would be an interesting way to use that. There's a bunch of different recipes for using banana blooms, so don't waste the bloom on your bananas. So the ripe bananas, once they've started to yellow and ripen and start to get a little soft, I like to eat them straight. Of course, you can use them in smoothies, things like that. But my very favorite thing to do with them is to saute them in a little bit of olive oil and butter, and then I'll put that in a dish. And this is one of my little go-to desserts for impressing my friends. Sometimes I'll drizzle a little amaretto over that and put a little dollop of vanilla ice cream. This will impress your friends, and it's a great way to end a banana video and a great way to end a wonderful meal that you've grown in your yard. So keep eating your yard and watching our videos, and thanks so much.